Well, hi everyone, I'm Evan Rapp and I'm the Western Regional Sales Manager for RTI, and it's time for the Rapp Report. And folks, today we're going back to audio, RTI audio, because it's a huge part of our language, and I realize that I've introduced you to some of our new solutions, but I've never really taken you inside and shown you some of the things that make them great. And the new DSP Matrix Amps, which for some reason I have a very difficult time saying, are simply the kind of genius and genuine solution that I've genuinely been promising from us. And as an aside, I got to tell you that I'm very, very proud of our team on this one, for this and for many other reasons as well. The specs are there, 100 real watts per channel routable inside a 4x6, 8x10, or a 16x16 fully preamp configuration. Now the powered units provide you with 2 additional preamp outputs, and all are offering digital or analog inputs, system-wide doorbell or source ducking, true and functional DSP, and so many more features. I'm not entirely sure why I'm only highlighting these. And I got to tell you something else. These are so good that we have decided to help out the rest of the market, a market that desperately needs us, by the way. And we will be providing comprehensive Control 4 and Elan drivers for these very, very shortly. And I will also say that because the general market has really been crying out for this solution, we're not going to require you to be an RTI authorized dealer in order to buy them. So you can go down to one of our distributors, you know who they are, grab one, and make it your go-to right away. And remember that these are going to solve a lot of issues for you. And remember that we legitimately do audio a lot better than virtually everyone else. So I really am guessing you're going to want to give me a call when you're done, and it's okay. Give me a call. So anyway, I'm going to shut up here and I'm going to talk there, because giving you a quick look at the interface is the best way for you to see the ease of use and genius that went into building these, and why they are going to be your go-to after your first use. And I promise that that last part is already happening. So here we go. A look at the DSP Matrix Amps and ease of useful power in a real solution from RTI. Okay everyone, remembering that this is a simple web GUI accessed through your browser, you'll see how easy it is to configure, how little there is to maintain, and the amount of user control you can provide without requiring them to have a full-blown control system. So I'm going to take you quickly through the config screens, what they do, and I think you're going to find that the intelligence of the design jumps off the page pretty quickly. Okay, to the config we go, and things start with a great status screen that gives you a snapshot of the amp's health, specifically earmarked by a big temp gauge telling you that you're not frying eggs. But you're also seeing which specific zones by name are active, and it gives a user or tech the ability to control general volume for each zone right from this space. Once configured, you can give your user access to this screen for quick adjustments in situations where there is no control system, making it that great standalone solution. A great example of this would be giving the bartender volume control to keep the joint happy. On the sources screen, we're obviously doing the source thing, but it's more than just naming your gear. You can instantly trim off some of the gain from a hotter source and tame it into your system to make it sound or work better. Breaking all the rules, half your inputs will have the option of being analog, coax, or digital, with the rest being analog alone. This is where you designate that. And if you're using a microphone, put it on source 1 and check out the full mic-based DSP we provide throughout the system. Use threshold, attack, hold, and gain to eliminate extraneous noise and make that voice pop and penetrate. And system-wide ducking for doorbells and nowadays, by the way, voice assistants. So you can designate a secondary source to override or mix in with the current audio, which can then be heard and acted upon throughout as much of the system as you want. And that's all there is to setting sources, but we could easily have a 3-hour discussion about the possibilities this alone generates. So your sources are set. On the zone screen, we're doing real-time source designation. You've got primary volume for operation, along with startup and max volume designations as well. You can generate white, gray, or pink noise to test your room effects and the environment, and built in and an adjustable doorbell with the ability to auto-duck, mix in, or take full priority over the audio. And you're going to see how easy it is to set an EQ preset, which can then be simply attached to this zone. Stereo and mono choices based on your application, and you can put the zone to sleep if needed. And if you want to bang it out, you can bridge mono or stereo channels from 100 watts to 200 watts. Do not disturb means the group changes you're about to see basically don't affect that specific zone. So, sources are set, zones are set. You got a mic set to yell at people, let's go. On the next screen, we're grouping. We're family, and you can choose any semblance of zones and sources to create both permanent or temporary groups. Ungrouping tells your sources how to behave when the group isn't engaged, and absolute volume means every zone stays at the same volume. Relative means the volume in the originating zone helps determine how it's adjusted in a group. Fixed locks in specific zones, and the system really just doesn't let you make errors, like adding an existing zone to too many active groups, that kind of thing. It's smart, again, and we can certainly spend some time nerding out on grouping tables. So groups are assuredly set, and now we're hitting the EQ and DSP, and I'm so glad you get to see this. Here we have EQ presets you can attach to any zone. You've got direct uploading of manufacturer supplied EQ profiles, and a new profile is just plain easy to set, even if you're not an audio person. So now you've got the ability to directly and powerfully correct room imperfections, or juice the system for a little more oomph, and use that internal crossover to add things like subs and create 2.1 systems right from here. You see that? Put a sub on one of those preamp inputs I mentioned, add a low pass filter right from this flapping spot, and now we're just going to return to the zone screen to have it follow the existing zone into married 2.1 bliss with appropriate bounce and bass response. Jiminy flippin' crickets, Katie bar the door. And guys, a special note, if you are a Control 4 or a lawn dealer, we've already delivered the features you guys have been begging them for years. Use these, they're really easy. It's one place where we're happy to help fix their systems. I'm kidding, of course, unless that motivates you, in which case I'm deadly serious. But all kidding and all politics aside, you really have been asking the market for this for some time. We're the ones who have delivered. The last screen cleans up everything and is the place you go for your general control over the way the hardware actually functions. We even give you that. Power, network, firmware, awareness, all the basics of general operation are right here. And lastly, this is so cool. If you're using ID11, and you should be, you can see how everything automatically aligns with your existing systems, literally by name, and gets auto-programmed into the rest of your work. And that's the way ID11 also works, folks. Easy, instant, and a user experience that can either be automatically built as you go, or with as much custom design as you can muster. You're done. Whether you're in a standalone mode or inside a control system environment, your amp is set. Zones are designated and adjusted, sources defined and well managed, and by the way, we make fantastic sounding audio. It pumps, it's clean, and it's so easy to adjust that it's also just plain useful. The RTI 46100 is 4x6 with 4 sources into 6 zones. The 8x10 model 810100 is 8 sources to 10 zones, and the AD1616 is 16 of each, and used with an amp I gotta show you more of, the 16x100 CP16i, which as amps go is a crazy-eyed killer. These will get you excited about AV again. These will make it fun. These will make you want to go to work. Try one. So that's it. A great week behind us, a great week coming up. Make your work great this week. Train a little. Don't just say the words to your customer. They land so much better when you know you mean them. Trading a couple of man hours for a clean and successful install is a far better investment than any kind of a Super Bowl ad. Okay, enough. Preaching. Go and be well, live your life. Sell one of these, they make sense. So for the Rapp Report, for RTI, for Bluestream, and for great amplified DSP zone management, I'm Evan Rapp. It's under control.